Hi, welcome to the 5 Secrets of Sales Automation, How to Book More Weddings the Easy Way. I'm Bob Graham, and I'm joined today with Wyra Mendoza. Hey, Wyra.
Hey, Bob. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, awesome to do this together. And also I want to thank Ryan at Mobile Beat for putting this on. So our goal today in this 40-minute webinar is to teach you how to increase your sales income without spending a penny on marketing or advertising. The plan is our 3 big secrets. So first we're going to show you how we grew our DJ company from 20K to 42K in monthly sales overnight. I'm going to give you Wyra's kick-ass sales secrets. And we're going to show you the most powerful sales tool for event pros. If you stay until the end, we're going to give you a free surprise gift. And here's a hint, it's my favorite new strategy for getting leads. It's only 40 minutes to potentially double your business, so it's definitely going to be worth it. So a little about me. My name is Bob Graham. I'm the founder of Airwaves Music. We're a DJ company in 5 cities. We've DJed over 3,000 weddings. We've got 50 DJs on our team with 20 regular DJs and an internal team of 4 people. So for years we tried to grow and nothing was really working. I spent $35,000 on advertising in 1 year alone. I had a team of 4 full-time sales reps meeting with other wedding pros, and I went to every wedding show that we could. Nothing was really going that well until this year when everything changed overnight. So our sales grew from $20,000 to $42,300 per month in Wyra's territory without any new marketing and no new cash invested. So we learned the hard way, but today you get to cheat and get the easy way. After doing this for years, we finally learned a simple way to follow up relentlessly without being a jerk. We increased our bookings by 113%. We're saving time with automation. We found the system that makes maximizing bookings inevitable. So here's the hard way. Writing a new response every single time, using old-fashioned CRM lead management tools, or even worse, using your inbox as a follow-up reminder, and searching through your emails and paperwork. So would you like to learn the easy way to maximize your sales? Well, meet the man who did it. So I'm talking today with Wyra Mendoza. He started off as a DJ at Airwaves. He was previously a door-to-door salesperson, and he's been in sales with us for only 8 months. And in that short amount of time, he's already doubled our company's sales record. So good job, Wyra.
Thanks,
and
man.
Thanks for hopping on this today so I can ask you questions about how you did it.
Yeah, totally.
Awesome. So what's our secret? Really behind all this, we use sales automation to double the size of our company. What is sales automation? So like I said, it's the #1 secret to our success. It saves you time and makes you money. And we can just about guarantee your competitors aren't doing this. So sales automation is our secret weapon. And sales is really the act of selling transferred property for money or credit. And automation is a technique, method, or system designed to reduce human intervention to a minimum. So selling automatically. All right, Wyra, so let's start the interview here. How'd you get sales up by so much so fast?
Yeah, Bob. I think the biggest thing that really helped turn this around was a lot of mindset. You know, I have this mindset of go until no, and following up just relentlessly until I either hear back and you know they want me to send them the contract, or they have found somebody else. And sometimes this takes 2 or 3 phone calls, and sometimes it takes 10 plus phone calls over 6 months. And really what I found is that being able to email and text my leads automatically without having to actually write those means that I'm getting more phone calls and I'm closing more sales. And yeah, it's really important for me that I go until no.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because what I'd find was initially only a certain percentage of people would ever get back to me, and now I've been able to increase that percentage of people that actually get back to me, increase the number of appointments that I'm doing, and ultimately increase that bottom line.
And I know that we're breaking the funnel down into even smaller metrics now. So we're looking at like how many website visits do we get a month? Of those visits, how many turn into leads? Of those leads, how do we make an email or text contact with? Of those, how many do we schedule a call with? Of those, how many actual calls do we have? Of those, how many sales do we get?
Totally.
So breaking it down into like all the different pieces of the funnel and optimizing has made a huge change.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, okay, so I think it's fair to say there's a statistic here by McGraw-Hill, and they said fortunes in the follow-up that 5 to 12 contacts are needed to get booked, and we've definitely seen that that's true, and you're doing that with Airwaves.
Totally, totally. And the cool thing is where I'm at now is it's not a lot of work, because as you talked about sales automation, you know, then they're getting followed up with 5 to 12 times, and I don't really have to be writing new emails every time.
Yeah, if anyone heard me on the background there before the webinar started, me and Wire were just joking, like, as a boss, I get to pretty much stay off his back. His number is, or the rule is just get as many sales as possible, hit your goal, make the customers feel respected, like they're getting great customer service, and that you're always there. And pretty much leave him alone to do his thing. I mean, we go for coffee once a week on Wednesdays, where half of it's just chatting about how to make the company better overall, and then we've got a Friday work day. But really, I'm not watching you do your job.
Yeah, I'm like a little sales wind-up toy, just wind me up and let me go.
Well, I think you're more like a sales supercomputer from what I've seen. Then rule number 2, speed. So maybe tell me about that.
Yeah, for sure. So my favorite thing to do is when I first get a lead, they come in off our contact form. I get a notification to my phone, and they're still browsing our website. If I can call them within 30 seconds of getting that lead, and I'm actually on the phone with them while they're still on my website, the chance of me getting that booking right then and there is really huge. So speed is important, because a lot of my competitors, I'm finding, you know, they take a few hours or even sometimes a few days to get back to their leads. And if I can be the first person to talk to that bride as she's in wedding planning mode, then chances are she's going to book if she likes what I have to say.
And I know we're actually going to use this webinar to train some of our other salespeople at Airwaves. So everything you're getting, we're giving to our team today. But one thing that I always like to share with everyone is, like, ask the bride on the phone what the competitors are doing. Like, you know, are you finding other DJ companies are getting back to you quick? Are we the first ones? Like, how many of you inquired with? You can get a lot of data, but yeah, you'll find pretty quickly other people take days, if not longer, to get in touch with them, and it just looks bad.
Totally. And you know, responsiveness is something that's so important to these couples as they're planning this wedding, which is a big deal for them. They absolutely must have their vendors getting back to them in a timely manner to keep their stress levels down. So yeah, impress them by showing them how responsive you are. It shows that you really care and you're going to be there for them throughout the whole process, and it builds trust as well. And then, as I mentioned, be on the top of their mind. If you're that first person to call them back, while they've reached out to 5 or 6 DJs, they're going to remember you. They're not really going to remember the second or the third or the fourth guy.
Yeah, I remember meeting with a friend of mine back a couple of years ago, and he was just like the closing machine. He'd go to a consultation with brides, and he would go for coffee with all his potential brides, and he said he closed like 9 out of 10. And the way that he did that was he gave all the value up front. So we learned that too. Like, if you're getting back to them and responding really quickly with a phone call, text, or email when they inquire, that shows them they can expect that to happen after they book too. And one of their biggest concerns, as Wire was telling me before the call, is just that people are worried they're going to book you and you're going to disappear. They don't know if your company's professional or not. They know nothing about you. So
exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I think it's worth mentioning here too that all of these sales I'm doing purely over the phone. I never meet with couples face to face.
Yeah, all of our consultations are phone consultations. So people are like, wow, you guys get that many sales every year without meeting your brides in person, and we do. So it can be done.
Totally.
So get them while they're hot, basically. It's going to decrease the odds that you're going to book them the longer you wait, and alternatively, the faster you apply, the more increase in response you're likely to get. So response time is a huge factor.
Rule number 3, this is a big one for me, is be an expert. These brides and grooms, they're really clueless, a lot of them, when it comes to planning a wedding. They don't know all of the intricate details and work about how to plan a timeline or how to come up with a budget or even how to find the right vendors. So if I can position myself as an expert and give them value in the form of blogs, in the form of tools, checklists, infographics, different resources, I'm then viewed as this kind of all-in-one, one-stop shop And they're a lot more comfortable to book a DJ with me because I help them find their photographer. I made recommendations as to who to hire. I helped them come up with their timeline, made recommendations as to how to structure their day. I've really taken on that role, and then they're much more likely to book with me because they trust me.
One thing I've noticed with you, Wyra, that I think is important to note too, that just if you get to know Wyra in person, you'll see it right away, but it's being authentic. I don't think he's adding these value things as a way to get sales. He obviously has recognized that it works to get sales, but I can tell when we have company meetings on how do we make DJ training better, how do we make the client invoicing process smoother, he really is thinking about what's best for the client and turning that into these materials. So don't make the materials hoping they'll get you the sale. Make the materials designed to help the customer, make their life as awesome as possible for all things wedding related. It's going to show. So I think that authenticity makes a difference.
Totally, and leads into the next point there of being transparent and just really caring about that couple and what their process is and where they're at.
Yeah, and we also noticed the more calls and emails we're making, the more likely we are to make contact, the more likely we are to get calls. So I think that persistence is a huge part as well.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Rule number 4. This is one of my favorites.
Yeah, this was amazing what you did here. Let me just start before he even gets into it by saying, everyone in the industry knows you're supposed to raise prices. I've read it in so many Facebook groups. I've heard it at the DJ and wedding conferences over the years. I've been taught it by mentors. I think I was just scared to do it, or my reps would never do it. So me and Wyra had a 15-minute conversation about it. Comes back the next week and he's like, yeah, I'm charging $500 more per gig. So I don't know. I was amazed. I still am amazed. So maybe you can tell everyone how you pulled that off.
Yeah, totally. So on average now, just after 1 month, I'm charging, I'd say 20 to 40% more per booking than we were previously ever. And really what it comes down to is these couples, a lot of them walk into looking for a wedding DJ without having any idea of what the cost is going to be or really what to budget. And price is kind of a universal indicator when they don't know how else to judge how good or bad something is. If it's a little bit more expensive than somebody else, then it must be better. Mm-hmm. So right off the bat, if I'm 20 to 30% more expensive than the other DJ company they've come to, if they know nothing about either of our companies, they're going to assume that I'm a more premium service. Because I'm a little bit higher cost.
Yeah.
Now, really, when it comes down to doing this, I was just confident about it. I told them the reason specifically why we're the best, and I proved that by giving them all of that value up front that we just spoke about. And then when it came to the time to, ask them if my price was in their budget, even the ones that said, you're a little bit out of our budget, but we like what you have to say, so let's rework our budget and we want to book with you, which was a really cool response to get. Know why you're worth the difference. Yeah, so I really articulate that to our couples, what our difference is, what some of the things that they can expect to get when they work with us as opposed to a competitor. And then I never quote price via email. Mm-hmm. I only quote price on the phone after I've had a conversation with them and after they get to know my personality and us as a company.
But I know it wasn't always that way, right?
It wasn't, no.
It was, you were shooting the price right up.
Totally.
What was that getting you?
It was getting a lot of people who would inquire. I'd send them the price, and then I'd never hear from them again.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And what I've realized is that price isn't important to everybody. Yeah. To a lot of people, it's specifically value, and whether that value is, how great their wedding party is going to be, how memorable the music is going to be, how easy it is to work with their vendors. I'm finding that price is really secondary to those things for a lot of people.
I think too, a few $100s extra on a DJ isn't going to make or break their wedding budget, and there's lots of room for them to spend or underspend in other areas. The average wedding is $30,000, I think I read somewhere around there, which is a stat from last year, so it's pretty current. So you think just raising a few $100 to get you something that's really going to matter, and it's the DJ is with you for a huge part of your night, and the whole party falls on the responsibility of the DJ, as you all know that are listening to this. So I think it's okay to charge what you're worth, and when you raise prices, I can say as the owner of the company, it does some amazing things. You can pay your DJs more if you have a multi-op, or you can pay yourself more if you're a solo operator. You can market more, get more leads. You can train your team better. You can do more things for your clients. You can spend more time with your clients because they're worth it. So it just makes you a better company. I knew a really successful friend that's an entrepreneur, and he told me he used to own a jeans company called Nudie Jeans, which is a huge company. And he said, yeah, I just found out how much it costs to make the best possible pair of jeans. I figured out how much profit I wanted to make to, have a good business and live the life I wanted. And that's how I found my price. I didn't go asking what people were willing to pay. And the world changed and meant what I wanted rather than me trying to fit into some predefined box. So I thought of him, and I was reading a book by Robert Cialdini called Influence, which is amazing if you haven't read it. And he talks again about what Ira said about price being an indicator of value, especially when they don't know how to value your service. So they don't know what makes a good DJ or a bad one. But often the price is the number one signal they use to see quality.
Mm-hmm.
And we know it's true too, right? Like, if your friend's charging a lot for his DJ service or her DJ service, they're probably pretty good. Whereas we all talk about the Craigslist DJs for $100 for a wedding, and we all don't think they are good. So it actually does work. Even as DJs, we can see it.
Mm-hmm. And it's cool that you mentioned that because, it used to really bug me when the first thing that they said was, what are your prices? What's your price?
Yeah.
And I almost took that personally as in, why you don't care about the music or what your DJ is going to be like or all of this other stuff that we're going to bring. It's all about price to you. Then I realized it's like that's all they know what to ask. They don't actually know what to ask. So I changed really when I get that question, what's the price? Mm-hmm. I say, okay, well, let's find out about you, your personality, and your vision, so that we can really come up with a package and price that works for you.
So after years of not raising my price, I think the answer on how to do it is just have the guts and just do it and see what happens. You can always take them back to where they were, but if you raise them high, it's easy to lower them. And even if you end up charging the same, but you started by negotiating on a higher price, you've still established more value. So now they feel like they're getting a deal, even if you charge the same as before. And I think you owe it to you, your company, your family, your team members and employees to charge appropriately, and also your clients, because it's going to reflect better service in the end.
Mm-hmm. One last thing I want to mention too, I really like doing this, is I like doing monthly discounts. I make up a little coupon and I send it to the couples and say, for every gig that books this month, we're doing a $200 discount. And I tell them that a regular price is actually $200 higher than what it is regularly, and it gives them incentive to book that month. People really like discounts.
So one thing I wanted to ask you about is what we talked about, or we called it earlier, the winner's mindset. Mm-hmm. And I think Wyra embodies this more than anyone we've had on the team. Maybe there's one or two other people throughout the years that had it as well, but I just want to talk to you about that because I think if you frame it mentally, it makes a huge difference. Maybe talk about how you do that, how you think about selling, and think about yourself, and think about the company.
Yeah, totally. When I first started in sales as a door-to-door rep, I found that selling was really like this emotional labor for me, and I would get beat up at the door when people wouldn't buy, or they'd tell me to get lost, or even more rude things than that. And
because what were you selling?
I was selling door-to-door TV, home phone, and internet packages.
So what? You just drove into a cul-de-sac and started knocking on doors?
Pretty much, yeah.
And that's pretty gutsy.
It was pretty intense. But what it did was it built a thick skin, and because I believed in the product that I was selling and I knew why it was the best, I could really embody that confidence to the clients that I was talking to. And that's really important, is to really outline why you're the best and why your product is better than your competitors. And once you know that and believe that, you can really convey it to your couples.
And you were making sales. Like, you were going up to a random person's door, knocking, Absolutely. And they would say, yes, I want to buy from you.
Absolutely. I was one of the top sales reps in our region.
Now, maybe we can pause on the winner's mindset for just a second, because I also was just thinking, when you first started Airwaves, you had a couple really rough months. Mm-hmm. Like, you had months where you didn't hit your number. We sat down and we're like, if you don't hit your sales goals or get close to them, you're probably not going to be here in a year. Mm-hmm. So you know what it's like to be on the bottom
Absolutely.
Of the sales. But now you've risen so far to the top, you have no competitors from like other reps and stuff. You're far above anyone we've ever had, right? Yeah. So what was that difference? How did you do that?
Totally. I think that really it came down to a couple of things. One was I really kind of dug deep and looked at what my goals were. What is important to me? What do I want to achieve? with this, basically. Did some soul searching and realized that, you know, it's so important to me to help these couples find their DJs. That's like my passion, right? I'm really passionate about that as a DJ myself. So now that I have something that's really important to me outside of just money, then everything I do when it comes to interacting with my couples and my clients is focused on just that, making their wedding planning easy and giving them a great experience.
So how would the other DJ companies, like, by the way, everyone, just so you know, we pay Wyra and all of our salespeople 10% of the total revenue. So it's 100% commission. There's no salary and no hourly wage, even from the starting time. And this is your only job, right? Doing sales. Oh, sorry, you do some bartending or
yeah.
No, you teach people lines.
I teach people kind of dance country two-step and line dancing.
So he's got a fun job on the side, but which I think is amazing. And actually, we might have a gig for you. Someone just asked for a two-step instructor. So
awesome.
We're not really a country company, but Wyra's got that vibe in them. So yeah, if someone wants to hire a sales rep that's listening, or they, you know, whether they're single op or multi-op, and they want to pay someone like you 10%, how can they find their own Wyra? Like, what should they look for? And how do they identify that person?
I think that it comes down to a couple of key traits that I would look for when I was hiring salespeople for door to door. Is this person coachable? Or do they have a big ego?
Right.
Is this person somebody who takes things really personally, or are they somebody who can kind of look at it and say, you know, it's no big deal. I've learned from this experience and move forward. It's somebody that really has empathy. I think that's what makes a great salesperson, is you really care. It's not like you're calculated and you're trying to get the sale. It's you really care about providing the best quality service for that person. So somebody who really cares.
I want to share with everyone too, like, we have our Friday meetings where we talk about how to make Airwaves as a company better. And that's like, just no ideas off limits. Tell me as the owner what sucks, what could be improved. Anything goes. We write them all down. We never miss a detail. But Wyra, like, even though his job is just to sell, he literally has no other job. Just get back to the leads as soon as possible, sell as many deals as you can. He's like right in there every week talking about the DJs need this swag. We need to make this infographic for the customers. The review process is chunky. Like, it's just refining everything, and you can tell that he cares about every little thing, because if he's going to believe in this, it better kick ass as much as he's telling the people. So that was number one on your winner's mindset, right?
Believe in your product and your company and what you do. And then I think lastly, you know, the bottom point is continually find ways to develop your skills. I really like getting plugged into different sales Facebook groups and subscribing to different newsletters. I love reading. I love attending conferences and things like that. And really getting on that personal development train has helped me stay positive and really push myself in sales.
Yeah, and I would say too, as the owner, if you see someone that you're working with who cares like that, encourage it. So, you know, I made a point to join the same sales group Wyra's in on Facebook, which has got like 40,000 members in it. It's not wedding sales, it's just sales. And we got a book from the group owner for Christmas, Hardcore Closer it's called. You know, I read the same one, so I read it first and gave it to him because it took me like a day. But also, we're going to go see Gary Vaynerchuk at a conference here in Vancouver, who's like a sales business guru. And so I think it's important that if you have someone who's great at what they do, you continue to encourage them to be greater and support them however you can. And it's also makes it funner for me too, because I'm learning just as much from Wyra as you are all today. Like, this is stuff I haven't found in a book. A lot of it is very common sense, but hearing him say it and be so young that he is and getting the results he is, like, it's different when you talk to someone who's living it. And so I think that's really cool to be able to be a part of, like, his greatness as well. So, talk to me about not being a jerk.
I love this because this really changed for me too, was how I was doing follow-up. So when I first started, my follow-up process after I provided a quote was all around, like, hey, book me. Like, are you ready to book yet? You know, are you ready to book yet? Have you made a decision?
Yeah.
And I would get a very low response rate. And when I really talked to a lot of couples, they found that the pressure from vendors to actually book their service was one of the things that they liked least about booking weddings, booking their vendors, planning their wedding.
So you have to follow up in a way that's...
Totally. Follow up in a way where you're not being a jerk. So now what I've done with every single one of my contacts, or every time I'm going to contact a customer, whether it's via email or via phone, I have some value that I'm going to offer them. Some little thing that I'm going to give them to make their life better and make their life easier. And I'm not asking, hey, are you ready to book yet? I'm asking them open, probing questions. So to give you an example, I love sending, we write a lot of blogs at Airwaves. We write blogs around how to budget for your wedding DJ, how to pick your photographer, how to plan your venue, things like that. So I love sending them these blog posts that we've written on things that they're struggling with. And then asking them questions like, what are you struggling with in your wedding planning process? Have you found all your vendors yet? Can I recommend some vendors to you that I know and that I love? And this way of following up by giving value and being an advisor has really, really, really helped.
I know too, like I've seen a ton of value since we started training our customers. Like we train our DJs, what happens after the customer books, who's who in the company. Like we've got sales, we've got an event planner. How does marketing work? Like, so they know the whole process, but the customer doesn't. So we just finished a video where it's like, what happens next at Airwaves? So we talk about, well, first you're going to talk to the music advisor. Here's what's going to happen. Then if you'd like to book, you're going to get the contract, the deposit, and it explains the whole process from start to finish in a short 2-minute little animated video. Sending them that before they book is like amazing because it's like, okay, you guys have thought this out. You're not just running by the seat of your pants. Like you guys are a real company that has real systems and we trust you.
Totally. And then I love using Calendly to schedule calls. It's great. I can line up my week with appointments. And then the Rihanna comment there, a little personality. And if you can make the couple laugh, on the phone, then the chances of getting the sale are huge. So I love, I'm telling them our package and pricing. Like, by the way, for an extra $1 million, we can book Rihanna for you for the night. Like, does that work for you? Things like that, just to make their experience lighthearted and fun.
So I want to talk about Calendly too, and also the other systems we use, because I know part of it is wireless salesmanship, being authentic, not giving up, finding ways to be an expert, selling for more. But I also think the success has been things like Calendly, because I can see before it's like, when are you free to set up a call? Well, then they send you a bunch of times, then you send them a bunch of times, and everyone hates that. Calendly, you can just put the link in the email, click here to find a time that works for you in my schedule, and boom, you're done. And there's some other tools we use that have really helped us too. So we use automation to make persistence inevitable. I think even if you're Wyra and you're a great salesperson, or you're the company owner and you're heavily incentivized, following up kind of sucks. So we want to use a system to make following up inevitable and make it less hard on us emotionally. And if it's automatically happening, that means you're not feeling it. Because I know that every email or text or call I make, every single time, the second one's easy, the third one's a little bit harder. By the fifth one, I'm like, oh, what do I even say? So if you pre-plan it out and automate it, it's going to be way more effective.
Totally. That's what I'm really finding.
Yeah, so we're following up right now with pre-made text and email sequences, and that helps us automatically go until no. And also we can automatically start an automation every time we get an inquiry. So it's not one of those messages like, hey, thanks for inquiring with Airwaves. We're going to get back to you in 12 hours. Like, that adds no value. It just spams our inbox, and they hate it. Our automation is like, hey, Jane, thanks for inquiring about your wedding at Summerhill Winery on August 3rd. We definitely have a DJ available that day. Why don't you click on schedule it here to set up a call with me? Great, thanks. I look forward to hearing from you. If I don't chat with you in the next week, I'll follow up. Thanks again. Something like that.
It's totally personal.
But it goes out automatically, so we don't even have to worry now about getting back to them in 5 minutes. It will just start in 5 minutes. So let's talk about Wyra's kick-ass sales secrets.
Yeah, big one for me is talk less and listen more. I have this saying in door-to-door, telling is not selling. So if I'm talking, then I'm not selling. So I ask probing questions, things like, are you looking for more of an upbeat dance party or something a little bit more mellow? Tell me about the atmosphere that you want at your wedding. What's your favorite song right now? What radio station do you listen to? If there's one song that you wouldn't want within 100 miles of your wedding, what would it be? And really listen to what they're saying. And more than that, it's listen to what they're actually saying. So if I have a couple that says at the end of our call, we're going to think about it and get back to you, what they're actually saying is, you haven't given me enough reason to book your services right now.
Yeah.
And so if I can actually listen for what they're really saying, then it helps me know how to respond, and I can respond in that situation to, okay, great, well, let's just run through everything, one more time to see if I missed anything. Mm-hmm. And just giving them that assurance that they know everything they need to make an informed decision. Get them on the phone. I hate selling through email. If I get them on the phone, it can be personal. My closing ratio goes way up. Be bold. Be bold when you ask for the sale. Don't worry about that rejection, and be bold with raising your prices. And just go for it. Use a visual sales pipeline, not a CRM or a notebook. When I first started with Airwaves, I had a notebook that I wrote down all of the leads, all of their event information, and then I would input that info into our CRM when they would book. And I was not organized. Leads were getting not followed up with. I was flipping through my notebook. I was losing paper. And
we had a CRM too. Like
we had a CRM,
and it's a great CRM for event management, but just for leads, it wasn't really working.
Exactly. It was really clunky for what I needed for leads. So being organized with the visual sales pipeline has really helped me improve my responsiveness, and just I can open my computer and know within 5 seconds where I'm at for the month. And then the last one there, add value with every contact. Give them resources, tools, blogs, recommendations for vendors. Every time you talk to them, you should be giving them some sort of value.
Wire, if you get 10 leads, how many are you going to close?
If I get 10 leads, I would say that on average, I'm looking at about 40-50% close ratio. Yeah. If I can get them on the phone. If I'm looking at just over email, then it's probably less than 3.
And then what's cool about Wire is he's getting slightly over our normal closing ratio. So we used to get 35 to 40% for our reps, but he's also raising the prices, and he's also using the follow-ups to get sales we wouldn't have gotten, because sometimes it takes a couple months for them to get back. So we just put them on a cycle, and 2 months later, that lead that would have been considered gone comes back, and he's got sales in a slow month that wouldn't have happened.
I actually just closed a sale that I had inquired back in June of 2016. So over 6 months of me just following up with her automatically every few weeks to a month, and she just got back to me and was like, I'm ready to book now. That was pretty sweet.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that one. Yeah. That's pretty cool. So I have a few rules for all of our sales team members too, which I found to be very effective, and also for myself if I'm selling. So I like to contact all my leads within 10 minutes. Never leave a voicemail. Voicemail is just an excuse for them not to call you back, and I find once you've left one, you feel annoying calling again, because it's like, well, why would you call? You already left me a voicemail. So it's better just to hang up if you get the voicemail and try again later. Texting them as well as emailing them. So there's a stat, I don't know if everyone here knows about it or not, but 90% of text messages get read. And more businesses are using text to message their clients, so I'm definitely a fan of that. I know I was talking to Wire for weeks and weeks before the system we use had texting in it, and just telling them, like, just use your phone, text people when you follow up. Mm-hmm. And follow up a minimum of 6 times. So 3 calls, 3 texts and emails. And then go for the close. So people ask me sometimes, how do you close a sale? And I'd like to hear yours too, but for mine, it's just like, ask for it. So we love your business. What do we have to do to get you booked in with Airwaves? Or where are you at with choosing your DJ? Did you want to go ahead and book it today? Or what's the next step? So those are mine. What about you?
Yeah, it really depends on where I'm at with the how much they trust me within that call. And you can really tell if you can just ask for the sale. So if I'm really confident that they like me, and I've made them laugh and there's trust and I'm in their budget, and I'll just say, well, why don't we just get this booked and over with today?
Yeah.
And that works most of the time.
And just from a systems point of view, just so everyone knows, at Airwaves, it's not a sale until they've signed their client contract and they've paid their deposit invoice. Mm-hmm. And so even when I'm paying Wire, if those 2 things aren't done for every client he's booked, it doesn't count. He doesn't get paid for those.
Exactly.
Because otherwise what you can get is you can get a bunch of fake sales from your reps that never close or people cancel. And we did have that happen one year, so be aware of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Why won't they book you? Really 2 big reasons. One is you haven't built trust. You haven't built rapport. Either they doubt your credibility as a company, or they doubt your experience as a DJ, or they just don't really trust you as a person, your values. Really, how can you build trust is by talking less and asking better questions, listening more, let them spill their guts so they trust you. Or they don't see the value in your product. You haven't, again, asked the right questions, found out what's important to them, and then positioned your service in a way where they see it as a fit for what's important to them.
One thing before the call, Wire and I were talking about was A lot of vendors, especially if you go on Facebook and look, they get really mad at the price shoppers, or they get mad when people finally get in touch and say no, or waste a bunch of your time on calls and emails, then say no. And yeah, you can get angry, but that's not going to help you. So what you want to do is turn that into feedback and see what can I learn from it. And also not taking it personally, which is like, tell me a little bit about that, because you seem so chill no matter what happens, like all the time.
Yeah. So it's kind of that thick skin that I built up through door to door is we had the mentality of, okay, when one no means I'm closer to a sale, so it's just time to make the next call or knock on the next door. And really, I get that when they say no, it doesn't have anything to do with me personally. They're not saying no to me. What they're really saying is either we don't trust you or we don't see the value.
Yeah.
So then with that no, I can look and say, okay, let me break down this call. Where didn't they trust me? Where didn't I provide enough value so I can improve for the next time?
And this isn't like you're selling door to door like Wire. Like, these people are already interested.
Yeah.
You know they're looking for a DJ. He was selling to people that weren't looking for phone plan. Was that it?
Exactly, yeah.
So you know they want what you have. They've already seen your website. They probably already looked at your reviews, and they've contacted you. Like, it's your sale to lose. Right?
Exactly.
So it's a good attitude to have.
Exactly.
So our goals on a call are we follow up until we get the call from the email first, and then when they're on the call, we want them to book. So pretty simple, but I think it's important to put those out there, because I know how key having those goals are. Because if it's not the goal to get the call, maybe you're just endlessly emailing trying to close it there, right?
Totally. It's important to know what your intention is with everything that you do. So my first contact email, my intention is to get them on the call. And with the call, my intention is to educate them and then book the sale. Follow up, my intention is to provide value and book the sale.
Yeah.
Totally.
So probably you want to, get the number, then go on the date. It's the same for us. We want to get the call, then on the call book it.
Exactly.
So skipping steps in sales is really important that you don't do that. And I know we learned that the hard way too. We used to try to book things just over email on the first email. Like, here's our price. Do you want to book? Probably doesn't work. You need to build some trust first. All right, so our final secret, as I said, has been the systems and the tools that we've implemented. Salesmanship is one thing, but freeing up your time to actually interact with clients on the telephone is what allows you to have all that emotional energy to actually shine when you get there and prepare properly. So you want to get rid of all that mundane stuff using systems so that when you actually connect with someone, you're in your A game. So the essential follow-up tool criteria for Wira, what are some things that you were using in Event Temple that you liked?
Yeah, a couple of things. I'm a really visual person, so it's important to me to be able, with a tool, to have it be very visual. So I can open up my Event Temple dashboard and really quickly see where every single one of my leads is within the sales cycle. I know who just contacted me and who I need to schedule a call with, and then on the other end, I know what contracts and what deposits I'm still waiting from. I really like having just that visual design of where my business is at, basically. Also, I love the automation. Really, I don't really write that many emails anymore, dude. Like, I have appointments set up through my week, and then I chill out and DJ and play guitar and like hop on the phone and then do a little bit of admin stuff. But I've really freed up my time with the automation.
This doesn't sound like it's too rough of a job.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Well, it feels good for me as the owner too, that I've given someone a gig that they like, that they're great at, and he's making good money, playing guitar throughout the day and kind of having a relaxing life, doing what he loves. I think that's really cool.
What I really like about the automation is I get to do more of the rewarding part of the job, which for me is getting on the phone and finding out about their wedding day and getting them excited. And that's really what I love about what I do.
Very cool. So just a couple of quick notes here. Someone had asked what rule number 1 is.
Go until no.
Go until no. So you remember that, Dennis? And then thanks, Vincenzo. I think I said that right. That you can hear us okay. And then Ed, that's awesome to hear you're interested in using the same system as us. And he just said, I guess I'm old school or text too intrusive. So I think, like, I'm signing up for software and different products all the time, and I'm finding text more and more common. I think it's the way you word the text. Would you agree? Like what you put in it?
You know what? For the modern bride, which is pretty much every single couple I talk to, they love that I text them. And text isn't my first means of communication. I'll always go straight for the phone call.
Warm it up first.
Yeah, exactly. But if they don't answer the phone call, then I'll text them. I'll just say, hey, it's Wyra here from Airwaves Music. I see you were looking for a DJ. Awesome. What's the best time for us to hop on the phone so I can find out more about your wedding day?
Right.
And then I put a little signature in there, Wyra, music advisor, Airwaves Music. They know exactly who I am, and yeah, they really appreciate that.
Awesome. So one note that I have for everyone, regardless of what system you choose to use, don't use your CRM for sales. So what I mean by CRM is there's amazing event planning software out there, which we call CRM. So one is DJ Event Planner, DJ Intelligence, eWebmin, PayPanther, Gig Builder, Honeybook. Those are all great for managing your DJ team, managing your contracts, managing your events, but they're not great for sales, and they're not built for it. Sales was kind of an afterthought that got added on. There's been a ton of innovation around sales and systems since those systems were built. So like my dad always said, I highly recommend use the right tool for the job. So event management is great for event management, not sales. Sales automation requires special functionality. So at Airwaves, we use Event Temple. It's basically our sales robot, and it works. And we use it for sales emails and text automations to send those out automatically. We use email templates in there that we know work, so we have them to reuse them. And if we train someone new, they just, first day on the job with Airwaves, they can log in and they get all Wyra's email templates. So it's awesome. We don't have to keep rewriting them or copy and paste them. We've got our lead and sales pipeline, so we can visually see where everything's at. We've got task reminders, and we've got email open tracking. So maybe you can talk about how you use all that.
Yeah, totally. Email and text automation, I love for first contact and as well as follow-up. The templates are great because what I really like about how Event Temple handles the templates is there are smart fills for the templates. So, for example, every single template will automatically put the bride's first name in as well as like her wedding date. And that's really helpful for me because I'm not having to rewrite each email and insert, copy, paste their venue, their wedding date. It automatically does that based on the information they provided on the website. I mentioned the sales pipeline, which I love. And then I really like the email open tracking as well. I can know who's dodging me, and maybe it's time to give them a phone call if they keep reading my emails and they're ignoring me.
Yeah. So 2 quick questions, and we're at the end of our 45 minutes, so we're going to open up to questions really quickly, just finish up a couple slides here. We're going to talk about to Leonardo about adding value, so we'll do that in 1 minute. And then also, Chris, can you try Event Temple before buying? So absolutely, and I should be totally forthright. I own Airwaves. I also am a founder at Event Temple, and I helped create the system and started spending so much of my time on it because I wanted some system to help build sales and make it more effective and grow the business, and there was nothing out there I could afford. So it's kind of a product that I made just for me with my team here, and now we're offering it to everyone. So we're seeing really good results from other people as well. People like it for automatically capturing client information. The contact form into the pipeline is great. We had another gentleman who booked $12,000 worth of gigs in 10 days, so he's getting a similar result to us. And then also, we have Bill who's saying being able to automatically quickly automate and follow up was huge. It's secret number 1, right? Absolutely. So we have a special for everyone today, 42% off Event Temple and 3 awesome bonuses. So I want you all to get a chance to try this and use it in your business. So we're also going to give you some bonuses for checking out the webinar and for signing up today. So we've got from bookmorebrides.com, which are friends and partners of ours, Stephanie and Jeff. They're going to hook you up with an email template bundle worth $50, which is going to have all your bridal show follow-up emails, all your review request email templates, referral ask templates, vendor introduction templates, and how to fire a client template. So all the things you're wondering, what do I say, how do I write it, they provided it in that bundle, which is really cool to have, and you can plug those into our system. Also follow-up cheat sheets. So if you want to know when to follow up, what to say, and how often to follow up to maximize bookings, bookmorebrides.com also help us with those. And again, we're not affiliated with their business except for the fact that we both help spread the word about each other's programs. And then you're going to get my kick-ass sales call script. So a few years ago when I was training sales reps, I was like, I just want to put what I say on the phone into a chart, and I want to put little notes on like, what should you be thinking at this part of the call? What do you say if they say this? I spent like hours and hours setting this thing up. It's definitely worth $100 or more. You're going to get that for free today as well if you sign up. So some really cool bonuses. And normal sales automation, like I said, this is a new thing that's been out for the past 5 years or so. The big companies are using. It's usually $200 to $1,000 a month or more for Infusionsoft. Ontraport starts at $300 a month, and Salesforce is $150 to $300 a month or more. So usually it's quite expensive, and that was one thing that I didn't like. I wasn't going to be paying that for my DJ company. So if you check it out today and take advantage of the offer, you're going to get Event Temple for $60 value. You're going to get the Book More Brides email template bundle for $50 value. You're going to get the follow-up cheat sheets for $50 value, and my call script. So it's going to be $260 worth of stuff, and it's going to be $35 a month. So if you want to get all that stuff and just sign up today and cancel, that's cool. You can cancel anytime, or you can take advantage of Event Temple ongoing for $35 a month. You're going to get texting. You're going to get email. This is like the full premium deluxe plan with everything included. Usually it's $60 a month. Today it's $35 for Mobile Beat members only, and people watching this webinar only. So go to eventtemple.com/mobilebeat to get that deal. Only for 100 people. So go right now, eventtemple.com/mobilebeat. We're also going to give you a free gift, as we said, for staying at the end. We're going to show you how to get free leads on Facebook. So go to bookmorebrides.com/Facebook leads to get that. And I'm more than happy to send you a copy of this slideshow over. So now we're going to have questions and answers. Does anyone have any questions at all for Wire about his sales process? I want to give 15 minutes just to dig into that. Or you can ask us any questions at all you want about Event Temple and the sales tools we use. So let's start here with Leonardo. Any kind of verbiage, this is for Wire, to add, explaining how to add value.
Okay, so yeah, Leonardo's wondering how to add value. Cool. So I do that in a few different ways. Really, the one that I really love doing, as soon as I schedule an appointment with them or schedule a call with them, at the very end, after I've given them my package, my price, my spiel, whether they book or not, I ask, how are you doing in the process of finding all of your wedding vendors? Are there any other vendors that you're still looking for? Photographers, decor, floral, all of that. And then I position a way where I say, because we've been in business for so long in this city, we've got vendors that we work and know and trust, and I'd be more than happy to send you over my recommended list. Brides love this. Nobody else does this, and they view me as an expert. They view me as being more knowledgeable than the other guy because I'm adding that value, which is differentiating me compared to the competition. Other ways that I like to do this is with my follow-up emails. I'll just include a blog post that we wrote, something along the lines of, hey, I hope that your wedding planning is going well. I know that budgeting your DJ can be a challenging thing to do. We wrote this blog post about how to budget your DJ. Here, I'm going to send it over for you to take a look. I hope this helps as a resource. Or another one I love doing is, I know that I'm sure that you're busy talking to a lot of different DJs right now. Here's the actual DJ interview questions that we use at Airwaves when we interview our DJs. I want to give them to you, and you can use them to interview your DJs for your wedding. Right. So there's lots of different tools, resources. Get creative with it. You can record videos, but that's what I mean by adding value, giving them extra that nobody else is doing.
And I want to add, it's very authentic when Wire does it. I think that's the key, because I won't lie, in my early days as a young business owner in the DJ company, I was like, I just want as many bookings as I can get, however I need to sell them, I'll do it. And I did all this stuff, and I would say things like, oh, this doesn't work, it's not, it's pointless. When he does it because he's actually trying to, he's thinking about the bride, he's thinking about the groom, what are they going through, how does he help? And he's truly not selfishly motivated. I think he just understands the long game, where if he adds value, he gets to have more fun, he gets to build relationships, his job becomes easier, and he gets the result he wants. And I've really learned that from him.
Yeah. It's cool that you mentioned that, because my mindset when I go into every call or every interaction is not that of a sales rep, I need to get the sale, It's how I'm going to make this experience amazing for this bride, and how can I help her plan her wedding.
Yeah. And so, everyone, we've got about 12 minutes and 30 seconds left for questions. I'm keeping an eye on it because I really wanted to be respectful of your schedules. I know you're all out there having busy days, so let's get through these and get as many questions answered as we can. So Chris Delgado asked about, can he try Event Temple before he invests? Yes, we do have a trial process, but if you want all those extras worth $260 today for $35, I would recommend just signing up. For 35 bucks, you're going to get hundreds of dollars worth of stuff. You can always cancel if you don't like it, but I'm pretty sure you're going to like it. So just think of it as you're buying the materials, and then you get a chance to do a demo with me as well. We can set something up, make sure you're happy, and if you don't like it, you can cancel after that. But that should more than pay for the extras. So you can almost think of Event Temple as free for this month. You're buying all the other stuff, and then if you continue to stay, you can do that. But we do have a trial as well, but I think these bonuses are a great deal, and they are for today only, so I recommend just getting into that. Leonardo says, thanks guys for this deal, no problem. David, what was the Book More Brides Facebook link? So I'm just going to go back. It's bookmorebrides.com/Facebook leads.
And you're going to send this out to
I'm going to send those links out to you all. And then today the deal is eventtemple.com/mobilebeat. So you want to remember both of those, and I will email them too, but write them down. David says, if you sign up for a trial version already, is there any way you can still get the $35 pricing? Absolutely. Shoot me an email at bob@eventtemple.com, and I'll hook you up, David, and do a personal demo for you as well. Love to get to know you. This is from Chris Delgado. So thanks for the question, Chris. He says, one more question. Some brides won't list a phone number in their inquiry, so it's hard to get them on a call or for us to call them. What would you do with this lead, Wyra?
I love that question because I find that most of the brides that contact me don't leave their phone number there either. And when we try to make the phone number mandatory, I think a lot of the time we almost got less leads. So what I do is I have my first contact email. I find out just basic information about their wedding. Things like what's your wedding date, what city, and what's your venue. Once I have those three pieces of information, I have an email to phone call conversion template that I use. This template is basically, yep, we have availability for your day, and that's a beautiful venue. Our DJs work there all the time. We really like to get to know our couples and their personality, their likes, their dislikes, to make sure that it's a good fit before we actually ever work with you. So with that in mind, when are you free for a brief phone call so I can find out more about your vision for your wedding day? When I approach it from, tell me all about your wedding, most of the time they love getting on the phone and telling me about that. This is a really big deal for them, so they love talking about their wedding day.
Another thing, Chris, that I learned from reading a Henry Ford book is basically like whenever you have a really big problem in your business, try to break it down into smaller pieces. So how do you get brides on the phone? That's something you could spend like 10 or 15 minutes just brainstorming. Mm-hmm. And it's something that you can optimize and measure. So how many times do brides give you their number? Can you increase that metric by doing something? Mm-hmm. And like Wyra said, setting up a call with Calendly is one great way. It says, do you want to set up a call? Yeah, sure, set it up at your convenience, enter your phone number. It makes it a little less threatening, or adding value ahead of time or answering a few questions over email first is a great way. Mm-hmm. I've also tried suggesting Skypes before, and those go really well. Mm-hmm. So a question from Casey Brown. Does the text feature of Event Temple use your business line or some other number? So yeah, when we were coding this, I definitely knew I wanted texting at Airwaves, and I didn't know the best way to do it because we have a 1-800 number. Then I've obviously got my personal cell phone, and the 1-800 number feels like spam. Like I would not want to get a text from 1-800 number. But then it didn't feel very scalable for the business to use our cell numbers, like because what if Wyra leaves Airwaves or goes on holidays and misses a bunch of texts? So we decided, okay, let's build a system so you get a unique phone number for Event Temple, but it's in your area code. So it's a only Event Temple number, but you can text them from it and get replies right inside Event Temple, and it's going to be area code specific. So it's not going to look weird or spammy, but also you don't have to worry too much about anything like that. So Ben Herman said on the website, it states that your pricing is $60 for premium plan. What is the $65 plan? So we don't have a $65 plan, but what we have today, Ben, is you're going to get that $60 plan for $35 a month. So that's where you get the 42% discount. So quite a bit of savings there. And the plan we're offering you today for $35 includes everything. So everything, it's the ultimate plan. It's the premium plan for $60 a month. You're getting for $35. So Ed says on the initial pricing page, it says that monthly is $30, but your monthly subscription plan says $40 since I've already started the trial. How do I get the $30 plan? So that's right. We have different plans if you sign up for a year. Today we're not asking you to do that because obviously you're just going to try out, get the bonuses, see what you think, and then move forward. But we do $35 today, month to month, which is the cheapest plan we have for premium. You get everything for that price. It's normally $60 a month, so I would recommend that one by far. It's the best deal you're ever going to get. Sorry, we won't call your name this time. Someone said you don't have to call my name, LOL. Sending them videos or pictures of your service, does that work or help with bookings at all? Do you do that?
Yeah, I love sending as many videos and pictures as possible. So I love what we do with our DJs is we have them, record videos throughout the night. They're required to record part of the dancing. They ask for testimonials, and there's a lot of great opportunities for content, and brides love looking at that stuff. So when I send them their email with their quote after we've talked on the phone, always include some videos that we've recorded, pictures, things like that, as visual as possible. It was really helpful.
So Matthew says, does a 1-800 number add value since all millennials have free long distance with their cell phones? Well, Matt, I have to be honest when I don't know and just tell you that we have our 1-800 number because we thought it made us look professional and like an established company. It routes to all the different departments, but I think probably we could get away with just local phone numbers in every area. We're in 5 cities, so the 1-800 kind of makes sense for us, but I wouldn't say it's a deal breaker by any means. And actually, in fact, like I said before, I wouldn't want to be texting them from the 1-800 number. So in certain cases, it can hurt you.
Totally.
And when you follow up, it's better to follow up from a local number.
Absolutely.
So could I request a call from you guys after this? I'm down to sign up today. I just have more one-on-one questions before taking the lead. Absolutely, we can connect a call. Just email me at bob@eventtemple.com and we can schedule something. But I'd encourage you to ask your questions live because we've got the time right now and I'm sure other people might have them too. But yeah, happy to do that. How do you sign up for the $35 plan? You're going to go to eventtemple.com/mobilebeat and just click the button there and sign up. It's going to give you the deal. Just follow all the prompts, click agree. It's going to be $35. We're going to automatically send you all those bonuses we talked about. And you can always cancel after this month if you don't like it, but you're still going to get that $260 worth of bonuses. All right, so we've got another question here. And I'm not going to call the names anymore since I was asked not to. How much Facebook Messenger have you guys used? What's the feedback using it?
Yeah, I don't personally use Facebook Messenger to contact any brides. For me, I find that to be a little intrusive because personally, I wouldn't really appreciate it if somebody messaged me on Facebook. I think that you could probably, get away with it, but personally, I wouldn't because I feel like it would make some people uncomfortable.
I have a thought on that too. So, because I manage the Airwaves admin page for Facebook, so we do get messages and inquiries on there. So if they're messaging us, we'll obviously go through that and try to get the phone number and email from them. And usually I'll just say like, hey, things get lost on Facebook. Do you mind if I give you a call or email you? Usually I try to get both. Or sometimes I'll go on these Facebook groups, which is included in that free report we talked about how to get more leads on Facebook. And I'll say things like, yeah, like you should check out our company, and then they'll say, okay, can I PM you? And then we start the conversation there. So we do use it, but I wouldn't also want Wire using it because it's hard to keep track of. Why we like using a system is so that if Wire goes on a trip to Hawaii for 2 weeks, I don't have to worry where everything's at. I can literally put anyone in there, and they can see where everything is in terms of conversations, what needs to be done, what's been said in the past. So that makes a big difference.
So you use it as a part of your sales funnel, but it's the top of your funnel. You should be funneling them into your system, into your automation.
So will we be at Mobile Beat in Las Vegas in March? I'm not sure if my schedule allows it. We don't have a booth or anything lined up this year. A couple of our friends do in other businesses in the DJ space, but I may pop down personally just to go check out the show. I haven't decided yet, but definitely been talking to Ryan about it. I know he wants us to get a booth there next year. By the way, we're a fairly young company, but we're growing really fast. So over the last 6 months, we've just exploded since we launched in the wedding industry. So I think we probably will be going to more and more things like that over time. Is the Book More Brides email templates their price to profit system? No, it's not, but it's some of the material in those systems. So it's going to show you that. Oh, also there's a coupon code. When you go to the eventtemple.com/mobilebeat, you want to enter the coupon MobileBeat.
This is for the users who signed up but without going to the discount page.
Oh.
They should use this code instead.
So if you would already sign up for a trial and you want to upgrade for $35 a month and get all those bonuses, just log into your subscription, hit MobileBeat. But anyway, back to the question about the email templates. Yeah, it's not their price to profit system, but it is templates from it. And they're very effective. We've used them at Airwaves. So, this question we love. DJ Event Planner offers automated follow-ups along with event management. What are the benefits of using Event Temple? So the texting you've touched on, that's probably the biggest one. The other one is I use DJ Event Planner for a long time in my company. I'm a big fan of it in terms of running a multi-op, but what I can tell you is the visual pipeline, the email tracking, the text follow-ups, and the way it's laid out is much more intuitive from a sales process. And we're actually working on finding ways to integrate with DJ Event Planner so that when it books an event temple, it automatically goes in there. But I found DJ Event Planner, and I don't want to knock them, I love their system. It just felt like the leads were sort of in an inbox. It almost just felt like an email system. And the automation was pretty clunky, hard to set up, hard to manage. Maybe it was just me, but I wasn't able to get it working correctly. And then the texting for me is a big deal because in our system, you can shoot out 2 emails, then a text, then an email. It's going to keep going. When they reply, it's going to stop. So I just felt like the visual pipeline made a huge, huge difference. And then those automation sequences being easier to lay out, easier to change, the templates, the tasks, just the whole system felt like it was more for that. Whereas in DJP, it felt like more of an afterthought. And it wasn't useful for me. So maybe it works great for you. I think if you have something that's working awesome for you, keep it. But for me, it was like night and day. And I think you really need to experience that difference. Would your contact sheet work with a website built in WordPress? Yeah, so our contact form is built in WordPress, and we use the Event Temple one. So it's no problem at all. We have a video on how to embed it, and we can help you for free as well if you need help getting that set up. All right, so next question. What makes us stand out from DJ Event Planner? We already touched on that one, but basically what I can say is you look at these sales automation software. These big companies pay for Salesforce is the name of the product, and it's a few hundred, a few thousand a month. And then they're adding on to Salesforce all these plugins for sales automation. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and the reason why is because these big companies know if you use a specialized tool, like I said, my dad said, the right tool for the right job, you're going to get better results. In my experience, having the visual pipeline really helps. Wire, I know you've worked with a bunch of CRMs. Texting helps, automation in this way where it's laid out very easy, very quickly to change. There's no learning curve for new reps with DJ Event Planner. Again, I like them, don't want to knock them, but it took me a crazy long time to learn it. What do you think, Wire?
Just from a purely sales perspective, because I have used other CRMs and even other sales tools, I just like the design. I like having my pipelines where I can edit, drag and drop. It's just really simple for me to use, and it's really intuitive. Like I said, I'm a super visual person, so I found it a lot more intuitive than other programs I've used in the past.
Awesome. So 1 second. Can you leave us with your company name and website? So I'm assuming you're talking about the DJ company. Absolutely. It's airwavesmusic.ca, and the company is called Airwaves Music. And I've had that for about 10 years, and it's my pride and joy, as Wire knows. And then eventtemple.com is the software. The coupon code for Ed, and Ed is already a trial user, so that means he's already signed up for a trial, and he's looking to upgrade to get the offer. Ed, the coupon code is MobileBeat. And then for anyone who's new to sign up that wants to get this offer today, it's eventtemple.com/mobilebeat. Okay. I use MailChimp to send automated emails for my book brides, for login reminders, upsells, and so on. Can Event Temple be used that way, or do you know of another service for automated text messaging for book clients? So I would say absolutely you can use Event Temple for reviews, book clients, reminders, everything, and we do. We have different pipelines, so you can set up different pipelines for different processes, have different templates for different processes, and it's definitely flexible enough to run your whole business that way. I would say definitely don't use MailChimp anymore for communicating with clients that way. MailChimp is designed to blast a huge number of people to do an announcement, email marketing. It's really not one-to-one, and it sends totally the wrong vibe. It feels very impersonal, whereas Event Temple looks like you sent it from your email. You took the time to write it. And that was one big reason we made it, is I wanted it to look like modern, like I took the time to write it, and that Event Temple's MailChimp stuff versus Event Temple for sending out emails, the results have been studied that sending plain text emails from yourself get opened, read, and responded to like 80% more times than email marketing. So I would definitely stop that immediately and start using a different system, and of course I recommend Event Temple for that. How would you suggest integrating and using a CRM along with Event Temple in the most efficient way? Well, there are a lot of CRMs, so I'd love to know what you're using and what you'd like to connect Event Temple to it for, but we do have an API, which means our software connects with other software. And sorry for that beep, that's just letting me know that we're running out of time, but I'm going to keep going through the questions as long as you all have them because I want to finish them up for you. So Are you good to do another 10 minutes
Yeah,
or so?
yeah, for sure. And then just to touch on your question about integrating using CRM along with Event Temple, we do use a CRM with Airwaves, and it works great for managing our DJs, managing our bookings. But I'm finding that Event Temple is specifically a sales tool. It's helping me get more bookings. It's not to manage our DJs or manage our events. So it does go hand in hand really nicely with your CRM.
Also, I like that, we have event planners on staff at Airwaves. We're doing so many weddings. We hired a professional wedding planner just to talk to our customers, make sure they're filling out their forms, making their payments. I don't want her to have to see all the sales data and all the lead stuff and all those emails. So I just have her log into DJ Event Planner for book gigs. And then, well, actually, we use eWebman at Airwaves. I like it because it's even easier to learn. So my whole thing is how easy can my staff learn it? That beats functionality for me, because if you have a lot of people, it needs to be easy. So I like simplicity, and Event Temple is very easy to learn. It's just for your salespeople. Get them in there, get them booking. That's their only job. That's how you see those results. And then once they have, then I give that to the event planner. She can be the one that learns, how do I input a DJ? How do I get a contract signed? All that. How do I get my deposit paid? How do I send my clients the forms? There's all this event management specific stuff that's a little bit harder over time. So Ed, Mobile Beat is all lowercase. Try that. And if you're still having trouble, email me at bob@eventtemple.com. All of your follow-ups are in this information for the at least 6 follow-ups. So I assume what you're meaning is, do we have the 6 follow-up templates provided in Event Temple? We do. We have, I think,
the Book More Brides.
5 or 6 Book More Brides templates in there ready to go. And we'd be happy to email you a few more ones we use, right, Wire?
Absolutely. I'd be more than happy to do that.
So if you sign up, we'll hook you up with some of those too if you email us. I cannot find your eventtemple.com/mobilebeat. It goes to a GoDaddy page, www.eventtemple.com/mobilebeat. Try that. We just tested it, so it looks good on here.
Yeah, I'm on it right now.
I think you might have had a typo or you forgot the www. Can you click to the next slide one more time? LOL. Yeah, I can go back. So
next.
bookmorebrides.com/Facebook leads is the Book More Brides one. I'll leave that up for you. So we can get rid of DJ Event Planner if we use Event Temple. So no, I think what you want is something for sales and something for event management. And I think this is a huge thing we do wrong as wedding professionals. We think we're just going to use one system to manage everything, but that's like what we do as event professionals with our job too. Like if you look at small companies, the DJ is also the accountant, is also the salesperson, also does the marketing. And that's why the companies never grow. And you want to do the same thing with your software. The more you specialize to get something that's efficient and gets results for the tasks you're looking for, the more you're going to grow and succeed. So there's a reason I'm paying Wire at 10%. There's a reason I'm paying for Event Temple, a reason I'm paying for DJ Event Planner. I have an event manager. So really start to divide your company up into sections and make sure that each tool and each person, each section is the best in the world at what they do. Can you manage leads with DJ Event Planner? Absolutely. Can you manage them as effectively as with Event Temple? Definitely, definitely not. Having said that, DJ Event Planner is awesome for managing events, and Event Temple is only good for sales. So you kind of need both. Just like I need my Event Planner to manage my events and Wire to do my sales, software is no different. In fact, the sooner you start thinking of software to replace people and replace jobs, the better and more efficient it's going to become for you in your business.
Right tool for the right job, as Bob's dad would say.
So bookmorebrides.com/Facebook leads, and if anyone's having trouble getting these going, I will email it out after the webinar. So I'm going to email these links. I'm going to test them. So bear with me if you're not getting it wrong, getting it right now. DJ Event Planner is a CRM. Event Temple is the sales tool. Exactly. Can you use your business number versus a generic number for texting? So we have an area code specific number, and like I said, I definitely didn't want those texts going to my cell phone. There's no work-life separation. I'm not sure. You can email our CTO to see if that's possible, but I wouldn't recommend it, because what Event Temple does is when someone texts you back at that number, it all goes into Event Temple. Everything you sent, everyone who replied, it's all in one place. And if you ever get sick or you want to hire someone else to help you, they just log in. They don't need access to your phone or anything, and they can start texting for you. So we really like that. And as you can see, we always want to make the systems at Airwaves so we can give them to other people. And by creating that, that's how we're able to grow. I use eWebMin also. Is there an easy way of getting content from Event Temple to eWebMin? Yeah, so we have an integration already built for eWebMin where you can set it up in preferences in eWebMin, click booked in Event Temple, and they're automatically going to go to eWebMin as an event. Oh, my slideshow stopped. I'm not sure why. Man, we've got a lot of questions here. God, I had one T. Oh, perfect. This the typo. How can I integrate this with my leads on Thumbtack, the not wedding wire on my website? So you can forward those emails to Event Temple, put them in Event Temple as new leads, and it will work. It will email them because all those sites, I believe, give you an email address, like a Thumbtack email or a wedding wire email. We've actually started communicating with all of them to build an API as well. So it works right now, and it's going to work even better in the future. I'm just signing up, just driving. Awesome to hear. It looks like lots of people are signing up. I think you're all going to see a ton of value from this. And like, I want to have your testimonials on the next webinar saying, look, you joined us, we had Wire on, and 2 months later, you're the people saying we got $10,000 in extra business. So I think this is great. I currently use Gig Builder. Awesome. Well, we can definitely talk about integrating with them and connecting that. So the codes are working now. Everybody's saying, yeah, had typos, it's working. If you want to schedule a demo, you can email me at bob@eventtemple.com to set one up. Happy to do that. Will I be sending a link to the recording of this seminar to show my staff? So I think we're going to have a replay going out. I'm not sure the day yet. It will be a time-specific replay, and because we only want a few people to see it, obviously I don't want my competitors to get it. But yeah, I definitely will email you, Mike, to let you know when it's coming out next. All right. Man, we're getting a lot of questions here.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome to see. I was able to use the mobile beat code to get the discount, but I would still like to chat and hope to receive the bonuses. You're absolutely going to get the bonuses today. That's part of the deal. It's hundreds of dollars worth of stuff, so we wouldn't leave you stranded with that. And I'd love to chat too. So bob@eventtemple.com, and we will set something up. Sorry, my computer is freezing from all the questions. And it's a brand new Mac, so it's a good sign. So can I import a lead list from Excel? Yes. So we have a sample spreadsheet. You just download it, copy and paste what you want on there, click import. It's very easy, and we've got a video on that. So it definitely works. This system is amazing for bridal shows too, because you can get your whole list, import like 200 brides at once, put them all in an automation. So in one click, you can email 100 people, follow up 8 times with each of them. It took 5 seconds. And we're seeing people that are using Event Temple just for that. And come to think of it, that's another feature we have, the DJ Event Planner, and nothing else does. It's like a trade show machine. Because you know, a lot of the brides that enter your Drawbox might just be trying to win. This gives you a quick way to weed them out and turn those into phone calls. How may we get a copy of the slideshow? Well, it's going to take me a few days, but I'm going to upload this to SlideShare, and then I'll email out the link to everybody along with the replay. Does Event Temple have lead capture forms for our website? Yes, it does. So you can create your own form. You can have any fields you want in it, be customized, change the color, change the thank you message, and just copy and paste one line of code onto your website. So I know that Wyra, I'm just going to go through the slideshow here. Some awesome results, and then the bonuses again. So I know that we're past our question time. We said we'd finish. So I want to just thank everyone for coming on here, be respectful of everyone's time. We're going to send a replay email out. But again, if you want the deal, $60 a month for Event Temple. Instead, today you get for $35 a month. Just go to eventtemple.com/mobilebeat, and you're also going to get all the bonuses we talked about. The Book More Brides email templates, the follow-up cheat sheets, my sales call script. You're going to get sales automation that big companies use that they know works for a way lower price point. It's worth $260. You're going to get it all today for $35. And if you decide you like Event Temple and keep going, it's going to stay at $35 a month instead of $60. And this is for 100 people only. Go to eventtemple.com/mobilebeat. And if you like the webinar, let us know, and we'll definitely run another one. I know we can always get Wire back on here, but I just want to thank everybody for attending today. And yeah, good luck, and I hope to see you on Event Temple and chat with you more and get to know you soon. Thanks again.